Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we're looking at X Factor by the late talented masterpiece Peter David, who left us this year, which makes me very sad because that means we're not going to get anything new from that very, very talented man. One of my favorite runs has always been mainly X Factor Investigations. However, I do thoroughly enjoy the original run. Now, this is volume 4 of Peter David's X Factor run, and the front cover is this is when Wolverine tried to poke his nose into X Factor, and Havok and Polaris got involved. Bear in mind that they were characters of that. It really did sort of bugged me because I liked Madrox, I loved his team, and it just felt, just sod off. I didn't like it, quite personally. So in terms of covers, I've gone from just the standard cover rather than the direct market cover. I'm not sure which is better because the direct cover is sort of based on the 90s team. This is based on at least the team that I enjoy in this book. But it's not, well, I could be irritated all day. Now, also, very annoyingly, rather than just simply finish off in this, they've gone with the all new X Factor, I guess, logo to wrap it up. So the usual spine nightmare from Marvel has Omnibus team with consistency not happening again in terms of spines. They really do like kicking us in the teeth. Don't get me wrong, I do appreciate this is the original X Factor. This is Detective X Factor. This should have been Detective X Factor because that just lines up with how this run has happened, rather than, hey, let's finish with all new X Factor. But I guess they want to give an homage to 20 issues, rather than the 29, if I've counted correctly, off this run, which is more than all new X Factor. So I have gone off on a bit of a tangent here. I also feel, although it's great, because Peter David does deserve to have his X Factor run to be shared in this format, it irritates me because you could have just had it running from the original one to, I suspect we're getting a third original. I'd have to go back and check, and then jump into this as volume 4. Then there would have been a volume 5, because I feel like there was plenty of issues in between this and then obviously this starting. It could have been all consistent all the way through, but Marvel Omnibus team doing what they do. I'm also glad that I got the A cover, because the B cover has Polaris on the side. So from that perspective, I've achieved with Madrox there. I don't really think sometimes they think these spine arts through, because you would have thought, right, how many omnibuses are we going to create? I do like this. It's got part of the team on there. Then you got the whole squad there. Then you got Siren, and then you got Madrox. But you were never going to get through the whole team. So what was the point, I guess? Anyway, I've really digressed. Let's start looking at the Omnibus. I'm going to put the other 3 away, and then we can start having a proper look at them. Okay, so I was generally quite gutted when this series ended. Like I said, this is one of my favorite X Factor runs of all time, and it had a great run. And okay, you could argue if it carried on, maybe it would have, the writing perhaps would have dropped. But I guess Peter David was also moving on to other things as well. So I was generally, in fact, I think I had the last issue for a long time, and the first issue. I really wish that I just collected the whole series. I might do that. I could still do that, I think. Surely it's not that difficult to get this run. So unexpected to the end. So yeah, it's just a whole interesting thing. So you get a spiel here. Peter David concludes his long-running saga of Jamie Madrox and X Factor investigations, filled with twists and turns until the last page. And the status quo shifts once again as Arai returns for all new era of X Factor, led by Polaris and their corporate-backed super team fighting for the betterment of society, brought to you by several industries. There we go. So this collects, it's about 51 issues if I've counted correctly, X Factor 233262, or new X Factor 1 to 20. So you got a complete run in there, which is grand. And X-Men Legends 5 to 6. So from the perspective of me moaning about the spines, the content in here I think is great, because you would have either had a really small omnibus compared to two reasonably sized omnibuses, or they've just said, Peter David did this run, let's drop it in there. So I'm glad that they did drop it in there. So let's lift this off. So you got the creators, you got the synthesis, which I still never read. I'm terrible. I don't need to read because I want to read the comics. But yeah, I am terrible at that. So we've got this lovely, let me see if I can, I always try to do this carefully because I'm very careful with my omnibuses not to damage them. Look at that. That looks very cool. Very cool. Surrounded by hell, if I remember correctly. And then we're going to shift very carefully the camera. And it's either going to be disastrous or it's going to work really well. It varies from time to time of me doing it. So it will take me a couple pages just to get it to a point where I can open it. So you've also got other artists, for example, like Leonard Kirk, Todd Newak, and Camille Di Gian Donico. I perhaps didn't say that right. Carmen Canero and Neil Edwards as well. I mean, these done pencils. Anyway, I may have read that wrong. Paul Davison. There we go. I probably said a lot of that wrong. So let's try and get that on there. So I've got the cover. I didn't get a direct market cover, did I? But this is, maybe I didn't. I just didn't realize it. Anyhow, does it matter? No, it doesn't. So I think it's this off the back of the story, they keep killing Jamie Madrox, if I'm correctly. Goodness, it's actually been a while since I've read this, so I am generally quite excited to read this. But I think when I do this, I think I'm gonna start right at the beginning with the originals, and then slowly move through the years. I feel like that would be awesome, even though you can read this run without ever reading the original or even Havok's X Factor as well. There we go. Right, it's starting to level out a little bit, so I can do this. Okay, so yeah, beautiful art. A little bit better. It's always difficult. I keep telling myself, invest into a stand where I can lift it over the top of the book, because I would probably do better reviews, if I'm being honest with you, showing the inner sanctum of this. So you get the covers as well, which I think is great, the end of X Factor. And then we obviously shift into all new X Factor, which I liked. I think I really enjoyed this. You had what? Danger, Gambit, Doug Ramsey, I think, on this as well. That Quicksilver. So I think I enjoyed this team. I think it was a good run. What was it? Must have been around 2017, 2018 when this came out, before they did the whole Krakoa era, which I did enjoy as well. I literally just enjoy it. Anything X-Men I still read, even if, you know, it's not a prayer. It's just, it's a case of, did I enjoy that story or not, really, when I get to it. I still seem to like the series' overview. And then we got X-Men Legends, which I'm presuming was like a special, maybe. Sorry, I knocked my stand again. Always difficult. Right, let's see if we can get to the end. Oh, that was the end. Okay, that's embarrassing. There we go. And then we got some covers, which is great, which I like. One likes covers, right? Gambit, there we go. That's cool. I like that. The action figure ones, and then this was designs. by Kirk. Back in 2013. Wait a minute, how old is this run? Maybe it's older than what I thought. Didn't think it, I thought it was a little bit less older. I'd have to go look. I feel like it was 2017, 2018. But maybe it was a little bit before. I certainly don't think that they cancelled it for that, because the original investigations ended, I'm pretty sure, a good few years before that. Yeah, that's nice. I love all these sketches, which is pretty cool. And then we've got Afterward. Yeah, I remember that. I'm not going to read it now. It's very sad. And then an interview. I feel like it's really nice that they still released this and they didn't hold it back, because obviously losing Peter David this year, a lot of people very sad. Such talent gone from this world, so we have to appreciate what he delivered in the past, and live through him and his vision, which was a great vision, great run. Like I said, this is my favorite run. I still highly recommend it. I'm not sure if you can get the other omnibuses, but I think if you can get them, I would highly still recommend them, because this is a damn good run from start to finish. I don't think I was ever bored with it, ever. Oh, why am I still collecting that? It was literally, I had the hardbacks in my collection for a very long time, and don't get me wrong, I sold them for a very, very good price, but there was part of me that sort of, sometimes I hold off in selling things, because actually I'd rather ensure that I had the book or the figure, rather than not having it. X Factor was one of those things that I said I'm gonna let go, but I was always very sad about it. So when we got that announcement, probably 2 years ago, off that it was like, wow. And to finally have it all back on my shelf makes me damn happy, I tell you. So anyway, I've rambled on a bit. I hope you like my video. If you do, please do support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.